Hello everyone, this is Wes Henson, pastor of the Ridge Church, and the Ridge Church campus is located at 7350 Old Highway 13 in Carbondale, Illinois. And this week we begin a brand new series titled The Church God Desires. And in this 7-week series, we will focus on the 7 churches mentioned in the book of Revelation. We'll be looking at Revelation chapters 2 and 3. As we apply Jesus' message to the 7 churches, to our own church, we present to the world a clear picture of who Jesus is. So session 1 is Characterized by Love. That's the title of the lesson. And the point of the study is ground everything you do in love for Christ. Our Bible text this week is Revelation chapter 2, verses 1 through 7, and the church that Jesus is speaking to is the church at Ephesus. In the study notes, I included the location of the 7 churches that we will be studying over the next several weeks. So let's begin looking at Revelation chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. In verse 2, Jesus says to the church, I know your works, your labor, and your endurance, and that you cannot tolerate evil people. And the truth here is that we are to be known for our good works. Now, the location of Ephesus put it on the crossroads of civilization. The city was filled with pagan altars to the many deities of the day. However, the church at Ephesus was full of dedicated people who served the Lord in spite of all the temptations that surrounded them. Their perseverance and endurance were commendable. But as we look in verses 4 through 6, we see that there is an admonition that the Lord has for the church there. The Lord has this to say in verse 4, But I have this against you, you have abandoned the love you had at first. And so the truth here is that we need to let our love for Christ fuel our good works. Jesus' indictment is a warning to all of us. We would benefit from a periodic self-examination, asking questions such as, have I lost my first love? Have I replaced my love for Jesus with a list of tasks that are to be done for him? When we get our priorities out of order, we no longer are able to share and shine the light and the love of Jesus effectively to those around us. Okay, let's move on down to verse 7. Verse 7 says this, Let anyone who has ears to hear listen to what the Spirit says to the churches. To the one who conquers, I will give the right to eat from the tree of life, which is in the paradise of God. So truth number 3 is that we need to remember that we will one day dwell with Jesus forever. Jesus reminded the church at Ephesus to listen to what the Spirit was saying to them. And the lesson was not just for them, but it's for all who are willing to listen. And the question is, how will we choose to keep our love for Christ the foundation of all that we do? Let me share with you quickly 3 suggestions. Number 1 is listen. Take some time each day and spend it alone with God. Read the scripture. Ask God to help you hear what the Spirit is saying, and then resolve to obey and act on what you read. Suggestion number 2 is to love. Make a list of ways that God has revealed his love to you and ask God to help you to love him in return and to keep that love for God in the forefront of everything that you do. And then suggestion number 3 is this, return. Do you know anyone who has gotten out of the habit of attending a worship service or a Bible study group? Take time to invite them to return to worship and Bible study this week. All right, let's wrap this all up. We must be careful not to lose sight of what first drew us to serving Jesus. And our service and good work should not be fueled by a desire for personal gain or praise or even a sense of duty. Rather, we must ground everything in love for Jesus. Okay, click below for a 2-page outline and a study guide of this lesson, and then join me on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. on Facebook and our website as we study these passages in detail. Okay, goodbye for now.